This is Yashai Dang, the world famous stylist, artist, designer, and model. Um, I figured out what this pasta is. It's pasta ragu, not bolognese. And if you're Italian, you know that pasta ragu is much easier to make than spaghetti bolognese because bolognese you have to cook for hours and hours and hours. So that's honestly insulting to Italians that you tried to pass off pasta ragu as, I don't know if I'm saying it right, it might be ragu or something like that, or raju or something like that, but you try to pass off like a cheaper, easier to make pasta that like costs less money and doesn't take so much preparation to make for something that takes hours to make. And I figured it out. So, hey, nobody should go to this Ital in house because they're not making Italian food, they're making knockoffs and then selling you like, I don't know how spaghetti bolognese with literally linguine becomes pen pasta with ragu beef and no parmesan and no extra cheese, and it also is like a cup and a half worth of pasta. Like literally, you could take that and fit it into a styrofoam cup and a half, and it's just like so. A cup and a half is a serving is 760 grams of pasta. No, the box weighs like 350 grams. Nice try using your box to scam people. Because I can guarantee, like, this is not how much pasta you give to everyone else. Because if you do, you're just scamming everyone, and you've been scamming people for years. And finally, the person who's not Italian but knows Italian food really well, because unbeknownst to you, I was a private chef at one point. I was a chef. I was also like a chef in restaurants. I was a chef like in a bunch of different places, and I would cook spaghetti bolognese because I loved it. Like I'd cook it all the time. And it's like I know what spaghetti bolognese is and what it isn't. Like this isn't even spaghetti. This is literally pasta ragu. You like took ground beef, cooked it up in a pot, threw some sauce inside, maybe some tomatoes, quickly like mixed it up together. Your pasta's not even al dente. That's the worst part. It's not even cooked properly. Like it's less than al dente. It's not al dente, it's hard pasta that's not cooked properly because you tried to like skip a bunch of the process. Like, why would you do this? And then the worst part is you guys are actually Italian, and it's just like you guys are ashamed to your own culture, the people in this place, because you answered and like we're like, oh, we don't really speak English properly. And I'm like, well, if you don't speak English properly and you're actually Italian, then you would know the difference between pasta ragu and pasta and spaghetti bolognese. And you definitely wouldn't be leaving out the parmesan. That's why you left out the parmesan, because pasta ragu is cheap and doesn't have parmesan. Like go into a restaurant, pasta ragu is cheap. Like that's what it is. It's a cheap thing on the menu. Because it's like it doesn't take much process to make. Unless you use some like fancy meat or something. And some fancy pasta. But like this is not that. This is not fancy at all. This is a lot of money for terrible food. Because you don't want to put in effort, and instead it's like, oh, let's screw over our international restaurant that has locations across the world, because everyone across the world would be like, oh my gosh, if they did that to Yeshaya, they'll probably do it to me, so why would I eat there? It's just interesting. Like, people literally come against me and lose everything. So it's like, look, you tried to mess me over thinking, oh, he's just a stupid American, he doesn't know what pasta is. And it's like, lo and behold, I'm not stupid, and nobody here is stupid. Honestly, everyone realizes when something's off with the food unless they don't know food. And it's like, yeah, you just thought I was stupid and I wouldn't know. And it's like, for starters, I know what Parmesan tastes like, and when it's not there, you can tell. So on one of them, you didn't even put Parmesan, and this is where it gets funnier, is you said on the phone that you put Parmesan on both. One of them on the label, you didn't even tick Parmesan. The one that didn't have Parmesan, you didn't even tick parmesan. So you got yourselves. But I love when I called up later, whoever the manager was tried to blame me. And the only way that I could even get through to him was I said, "Oh, do you want your restaurant to be like a Kitchen Nightmares, except I'm like the equivalent of Gordon Ramsay and that I call you out on this stuff?" And then suddenly the guy was like, okay. So we have to do something. And I'm like, well, if you mess the customer over, it is kind of your responsibility to fix it, not the customer's responsibility to fix it. And it was like the manager was shocked to hear that, which was like bizarre. And it's like now it makes sense why some restaurants end up on Kitchen Nightmares, because the people owning them or running them think that the customer is responsible to cook the food. Even though they're making it in their restaurant, they're like, why can't I just give you raw pasta, raw ingredients, and you cook it at your house? And I'll just charge you the full fee. Because I at least gave you the ingredients. What do you want from me? And you're like, okay, you need to get your brain fixed. And I don't know how to do that. Because like, this is the hardest part, is like, growing up I learned Talmud, and the Talmud says that like, something crooked can't be fixed. And when it's your brain, like, how do you fix that?